Yeah.
Oh man, Undisputed has a new format. Well, not a new format, but they've got new contributors.
That's right.
So Shannon Sharp is out, and in I guess is Richard Sherman, Michael Irvin, and Keyshawn Johnson. These networks just trade people off. ESPN gets rid of people, they go to Fox. Fox gets rid of somebody, they go to ESPN. It's ridiculous. But much is being made about the new look of Undisputed. Um, the show went on hiatus for a couple months after Shannon Sharp left while they figured out what they were going to do. And so it was revealed that this was the new format, at least for now. And so there's a lot of reaction to what the new look Undisputed looks like, right? So we'll go ahead and share thus far what is making waves from the first episode of the new look Undisputed, which aired on August 28th. And this features, the aforementioned individuals here. So we'll go ahead and give our reactions to the new look Undisputed.
Morph into this number one receiver.
Yeah, absolutely.
Early on, CD had some drops. I'm not, and some balls went through his hands, and some balls went through his hands, and they turned up interception. Some balls went through a lot of those receivers' hands, get turned up interception, and everybody put it on that, but the ball was dropping on people's hands. Early on, as CD was converting, and you guys know this, I talked to CD about us. I said, hey, man, you're the number one receiver now. Everybody's going to be around you all the time. There is no you gonna be.
You got to run the right route.
So right. And what he was trying to do with everybody around him, he was still trying to catch balls in his hands. And there's a natural defense mechanism within the body to protect you when people are around you. If I squeeze my hand, you're gonna blink your eye naturally. So now he's trying to catch it. I said, wait, let me finish. I told him, I said, listen, with all these people around you, learn to catch this ball in your body. Right. So in your hands, you tighten up, ball goes through you. Or you tighten up, ball hits the ground.
That's the worst advice I've ever heard for a receiver. Don't catch it with your hands, catch it with your body.
How you gonna tell me that's the worst advice? I'm only one of the best to ever do it at playing that
what
game.
I'm saying is,
I don't know how you
gonna say catch it with your body and not your hands.
It led to championships on every level. What I'm talking about doing, I won championships on every level doing. I don't know how you gonna say that's bad advice.
You don't say
how is that bad advice?
Because if you're telling kids to catch with their body and not their hands,
Sherm, you gotta listen.
One second.
No.
I understand what he's saying.
Thank you.
But what I'm saying, I play quarter. If you catching it in your body, you bringing it that close, and I'm on your back, I'm getting that out of there every single time. I'm getting that out of there. You're not bringing it in your body. Catch it with your hands out here. But what I'm saying is, y'all are making excuses, saying a professional, 12 games.
I'm telling you,
he played 12 games.
No, we're letting you. We're trying.
Y'all are making excuses. Y'all just said it was CD.
No,
y'all just said it was CD.
What a mess. And it's kind of like, it's like the guys in like lunch and in PE just banging on the table talking about sports. The loudest person wins. I mean, and Michael Irvin. Whoa. I mean, listen, I love Michael Irvin. Hurricanes fan, he's a Hurricane representative all day long. So I love him. Back in the Cowboy days, I was a big Cowboy fan. I love Michael Irvin. And, as a person on TV, he can get a little out of pocket. And I feel secondhand embarrassment sometimes when he do wild stuff. And in this situation, I was like, all right, because I was like, okay, Michael, just don't embarrass us this time. And, he goes up there and act like he's still on that booger sugar. Like he's still on that pod. And so he's standing up, like, I'm telling them, right. And then for them to be like, bruh, so sit down, like Skip said to Shannon, put your glasses back on. I feel like telling him to sit his ass down. Skip Bayless looked embarrassed. He looked like he was like, no, I did not bring the loudest Negroes from the cookout to my all prestigious dinner. Yes, you did, bro. Yes, you brought 3 Negroes up there. Them boys do not behave. And yes, Richard Sherman does have himself a degree from Stanford, high GPA from what I hear. He is still a Negro in the street. So he got himself the 3 loudest people at the cookout trying to have himself a civilized debate. Not going to happen. So hopefully, I think this was just the first episode where they had this madness going on. They wanted to introduce the cast. So hopefully it's more of a one-on-one type of situation where they can have a more civilized conversation. But from every clip that I saw from this, it looked like an unmitigated disaster. So how about you, man? How do you feel about the new Undisputed?
It looks a little rough. Skip Bayless looks like he bit off a little more than he can chew.
I think so.
There's another clip that I saw. I think he was either on World Star or YouTube. I forget, where they're running up against the end of the segment, and Skip Bayless chimes in. He's like, "Well, I'm not gonna get to make my full point. We're gonna have to go to break because you guys talk too much." I think Skip Bayless was measured in his frustration over the way that the show went. And maybe it will get smoothed over, but I will say this. I tuned in a little bit of that today, and it was still all 4 of them on there today. So I don't know if that's a permanent thing or not.
Oh, man.
I don't know if that's a permanent thing or not. I hope it isn't, because they need to get that part figured out. 4 is too many.
Yeah.
3 is too many. You only need 2.
Yeah.
Just get the second guy, and then the third guy can be there as a guest from time to time or from one segment to another to be a guest contributor. But otherwise, the show is just 2 people. That's it. 4 is way too many, and 3 is too many. It's especially when you have. It's saying something when Skip Bayless you look at on any given panel as the person who's going to do the least amount of the talking.
That's crazy.
That's saying something.
Yep, it is.
Because when Skip and Stephen A were together on First Take, Skip would routinely overtalk Stephen A. Smith, which is saying something because Stephen A. Smith never shuts up and he overtalks the hell out of people. So it's fascinating to watch this happen in real time, because I can remember whenever Keyshawn was on First Take, I used to think to myself, Keyshawn, stop interrupting people. Do your, say what you got to say and then let other people chime in. Keyshawn interrupts people and talks a lot. Michael Irvin interrupts people and talks a lot. Richard Sherman interrupts people and talks a lot. And then you got Skip Bayless, who basically invented the medium, sitting there looking at his essentially what Skip Bayless is witnessing are the fruits of his labor. Skip Bayless is looking at 4 of his love children because he birthed this whole thing. If you want to be honest, going all the way back to 2004, this is a monster that Skip Bayless created. So it is what it is. I've never been as big a hater of Skip Bayless as most people. I don't think that outside of when he is irrationally being anti-LeBron or Aaron Rodgers, because there are 2 people who are routinely juxtaposed to his 2 favorite love crushes in the world, Tom Brady and Michael Jordan. So whenever it was a LeBron or Aaron Rodgers thing, it was always anti-LeBron and anti-Aaron Rodgers, because he has to try and do his part to uphold the pristineness of the image of Tom Brady and Michael Jordan. So outside of Aaron Rodgers and LeBron topics, I always felt like Skip Bayless used to say pretty salient things that made sense, but he would get kind of swept up within this whole narrative of Skip Bayless being a hater. I don't really think he's that huge of a hater unless you love LeBron. Then of course you think he's a huge hater, because if you love LeBron, anybody who says anything against LeBron, you look at as a hater. But Skip Bayless invented this thing, and so yeah, bro. He's going to have to fix it, but if the first 2 days are any indication, it's not as good as what it was when Shannon was there. And maybe they'll work the kinks out, but this thing is looking like he basically is going to gift Stephen A. Smith with an all-out victory here if it remains in its current format, especially if Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharp hit it off and that chemistry works. Because if it does and this situation stays the same, I can very easily see them trimming some of this fat and getting rid of 2 of those guys. I remember when it was announced that the permanent co-host was going to be Sherman. I thought it was going to be Skip and Sherman. And then I tune in and I see all 4 of them on there. It's too much. It's too much loudness, too much talking, too much people interrupting each other and over talking. It's way too much. Even if you had a panel with 4 people who didn't overtalk one another and were more civil in terms of how they did their job, it would still be too much because 4 people is just too much. But you got 4 people on there and it's them 4? Nah, they're going to have to fix that. They're going to have to fix that real quick, or, Skip Bayless is going to get, sent to an early retirement. Right now, that show is just too much. It's unwatchable in its current format. And they need to get rid of 2 of those guys. Which 2, I don't know, but 2 of them got to go.
Yeah, and I'll say that for Skip, I think, because I agree with you, I do see why people don't like him, but I agree with you in the context of, outside of his LeBron takes and his stuff that he's obviously being a troll, outside of that type of stuff, he really doesn't offend me as much with his takes. But much like how for body positivity, slut shaming, we have athlete positivity, where you can't shame an athlete. Hey, you're making this personal. It's like, nah, bro, he just said you trash with that jumper. You never made it to the league. Yeah, I understand that. But based upon your level of competition, you suck at shooting jumpers. So why can't I call that out? But now player positivity is this thing where now people that never played the game can't make a critique. Why am I watching this if I can't critique you, bro? Right, so this whole whatever is a lack of accountability. Negro, get better. If you getting stripped, enhance your dribble. If your shot ain't working, fix it. If your free throws off, fix that. If you're not good at defense and you play Olay, tighten up. I can call that out because, hey, I'm vested in this. And by the way, you're playing a professional sport where everybody in the Coliseum can make their judgments. You chose to do that. That's the trade-off for hundreds of millions of dollars. So these guys out here that keep slandering Skip Bay, oh, he this, and this, that's because these guys are the new version of sensitive people.
Yes.
And so that's even the big testosterone athletes out here crying like body positivity Lizzo people. So I never understood it, but that's what these clowns get in here doing. Hey, you got a Twitter handle, clap back like your name is KD, if that's how you feel about this stuff. But stop crying and stop calling. Hey, man, get on your own platform and talk your noise. But yeah, man, I can't stand that player positivity garbage. There is a line to be drawn, but Skip, he draws the line at entertainment, and I left it there, and the other athletes should leave it there too. But be that as it may, I still think he's a scumbag behind closed doors, because interpersonally, there's too many reports of him just being as shardy as he treated Shannon on air. So that's the reason. It's not, I can't prove it, but that's the reason why there's something in Skip that I go, yeah, I don't jive with you all the way. So I don't know why Dwayne Carter want to chill with you, bro.
It's weird.
It's weird.
Yeah, I hear it. I still want that show to be successful because ESPN does not deserve to be king of the mountaintop. With some of the way that they run their operations, and a monopoly is never a good thing for any industry. So you always need competition, and ESPN is still linear television, so they don't necessarily compete outright with the podcasters and all of that. So when it comes to linear television, you need an Undisputed and all of the rest of those shows on FS1 to compete with the likes of First Take and everything that ESPN has going on. I just think that they need to fix it. They've got too many hosts, and they've got too many of those hosts who don't do gas bagging the right way. They all overtalk. They all have a propensity for interrupting you when you talk while you're speaking. All of them. Keyshawn is bad at it. Yeah, like Keyshawn is horrible. Sherman sucks at it. They all do it. They all do this thing where they'll just cut you off. They'll interrupt you and overtalk you. And then when they overtalk you, they take the rest of the airtime talking and talking and talking and talking. So they need to trim some of that fat and get rid of those people. In my opinion, I would say keep Sherman and get rid of the other 2. If for no other reason than I've seen enough of those other 2 guys. They've got enough going on. Sherman is the newest guy in the game, so give him a shot. and let's see where that takes it. Let's see where he takes it, because he's new, and so I think he deserves his opportunity. And you know, I've seen enough of Michael Irvin, and I've definitely seen enough of Keyshawn. Get those guys out of here. Get them out of here. If I had to choose between Irvin and Keyshawn, I'm gonna go with Irvin, because Irvin will make me laugh.
Right.
Whereas
right.
I just find myself with Keyshawn saying, "Bro, stop talking."
Bro,
I'm
gonna just say this, bro. That's uniform. I haven't met one person that vouches for Keyshawn Johnson, myself included. I can't stand it. And I agree. At least with Michael Irvin, I'm gonna get some laughs.
Yeah.
Now he is that guy at the cookout, you know, who's just chucking and jiving. He is a ball of entertainment. So I get that angle, but if I want a real sports debate, you're not going to get that from Michael Irvin. You're just not.
No. Yeah.
So,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. Good luck, Skip, man. Good luck. Hopefully, allegedly, Skip has a lot of influence and sway behind what happens with the production of that show. And so I think that if he's as smart as I think he is when it comes to the media stuff, he sees what changes need to be made, and they'll trim some of that fat. But they need to trim some of that fat for real.
Agreed.